Hello, beautiful beings of love and light. Welcome to Wind Down Yoga. My name is Beth. During this class, we will be doing some very slow and gentle movement. And as we go through, please always remember to keep your own needs as the highest priority. If there is ever anything that I guide that does not feel right for you, please modify into a position or placement of your body that feels perfectly comfortable for you. There is a subtle difference between a stretch and pain that only you know. Please honor that, honor yourself, and do not put yourself in any pain. There is no need for it. You don't deserve it. You didn't do anything wrong or bad. Every practice of yoga is about you and honoring your needs, giving yourself what you need in the present moment. So we're effectively practicing presence in order to soothe our nervous system and bring ourselves into a state of calm. We do this by every little thing that we notice that doesn't feel right for us. We are choosing differently so that we can rewire our brains to work for us instead of against us. This is the age-old concept of self-sabotage, right? And many of us have experienced very challenging ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, that even as adults, they affect us in sometimes very subtle, sometimes very blatant ways. And it's very important that we recognize this. And I honor and congratulate you for taking this time to be with yourself, to commit an hour of your day to a yoga practice where you are honoring yourself, where you are listening for your yeses and nos and doing what those tell you. Our body is a messenger for all that we need in life. So by practicing, oh, that doesn't feel great, I'm going to change it, or that feels wonderful, I'm going to allow myself to really sink into that and be with that good feeling. We are effectively training our own nervous system and our brain neurons to know, oh, this is what we do. When something feels good, we stay with it. When something feels bad, we walk away from it. So this is one of the ways that yoga helps us to heal ourselves. So you may be feeling a bit scatterbrained. We're going to just start the practice in 1 minute. And if you join me, please just make a note in the comment section that you are here and that you can hear me. If at any time during the practice you cannot hear me any longer, please also make a note. I cannot hear you. I can switch my audio to another one if so. So going back to how we may be feeling collectively right now, our moon is in Gemini. And what that does for us oftentimes is it causes our emotional space to be very back and forth, right? Gemini is the twins of the zodiac. So we might be feeling one way one moment and feeling another way another moment. It tends to vacillate very rapidly because this is the Gemini energy. So if you have any of that coming up for you, notice it, observe it, and see if you can welcome it or befriend it. That just by acknowledging or seeing that feeling, that we can begin to train ourselves to accept, this is just how I'm feeling today. Tomorrow is a new day, just as the moon will change. It continues along its orbit, just as we continue on our lives. And things will shift. And right now, this is what I'm experiencing, and there is a reason for it. We may not know what that reason is. And our Gemini energy is going to want to know, right? Why? What is it? What should I do? How can I stop this? How can I fix this? Try to allow yourself just for this 1 hour today to let yourself be in whatever you're feeling and note those feelings as they come up. Wow, I'm feeling very scattered, or I was very angry with whoever earlier, and now I feel like I have a little bit of distance from it, or maybe I'm still very much in that, or I feel very confused or lost or sad, or perhaps you're feeling extremely excited or exuberant or just very content and mindful of the things that you're grateful for, having a sense of gratitude. And maybe you're feeling a big, deep inner knowing, and you feel abundant in all of the projects and things that you have going on in your life. Maybe you're connecting very readily with friends and partners and family members, and it doesn't always have to be one way or the other, right? We can also experience very positive emotions and very negative emotions simultaneously. So just want to invite you to observe those as we go through this practice today. And if at any point, like I said before, you feel like you need something different, I mean, I can't even see you. So nobody's going to stop you, call you out, make you come back to do something. This is a very nice way of practicing honoring self, doing what self wants and says is right for self in this moment, and not worrying about what anyone outside is doing, thinking, saying to us. So we're going to open this practice today with Bhramari. Bhramari is a goddess who was given her name because the word Bhramari is a representation of bumblebee, a bee. So this is bee's breath. And what this can be helpful with is to seal off the gateways of perception. So it's a nice pranayama to be able to separate out everything that's outside of us, things that we're seeing, things that we're hearing, things that we're smelling, things that we might even be tasting, in the air, and to really go within and focus on ourselves inside of us. So I'll give you a little bit of background of Bhramari once we've done one round, and while we're sitting in just the sensations that come up around it. So to begin Bhramari, don't do it just yet. You can follow along to learn, but ultimately our hands are going to be sealing the gateways of perception around our faces. So you're going to place your pointer fingers on your eyelids. So just like touch them right now. You don't have to close them. Your middle fingers are going to be closing your nostrils for you. Yeah. So you're going to have those there. And then with your mouth, you're just going to relax your jaw and let it rock from side to side. So it's like your teeth are kind of close together, but you're just relaxing it and letting your jaw rock. You're also going to hum from the back of your throat. You'll be humming. So every inhale, you'll breathe through your mouth because your nostrils will be sealed with your middle fingers. You're going to rock your jaw back and forth as you breathe out or exhale. The eyes. So even behind your closed eyelids with your pointer fingers, your eyes will be underneath your eyelids gazing up. They will also be rotating around in a cyclone, like a shape of a circle. So it's like there's a circle above your head and your eyes are tracing it. So it might be a lot to take in at once. So just take which parts of this work for you, right? So your eyes are sealed, but behind your eyes, you're gazing up and they're going around and around in a circle. might induce a bit of strain, might induce a bit of dizziness. Remember that you can always stop any part of the breath and just continue breathing. So again, placing the pointer fingers on the eyelids, middle fingers sealing the nose. And then the final thing is your thumbs will press on the ear cartilage to seal your ears, to seal yourself away from sound. So it'll look like this. Just watch me for a moment. You'll relax your jaw, breathe in through your mouth. And then you'll hum as your eyes do the cyclone, as your jaw rocks back and forth. And so on. So you can keep going if you've already begun. Just try it. We're going to go for 1.5 minutes, and I will let you know when the time is up by making a loud clapping sound like this. So hopefully you can hear that and come out of it. If not, just be generally aware that we'll be going for 1.5 minutes. So again, point your fingers on the eyelids softly, right? We're not pushing super hard, but the eyes are going in one direction around in a circle as they gaze up towards the third eye. Middle fingers are on the nostrils, sealing the nose, and thumbs are on the ear cartilage, sealing off sound. Begin. Inhale through your mouth. All breaths are through your mouth. Rock your jaw back and forth to create a bit of a buzzing sound in your head. Full inhale breaths to the very top and full exhales as you hum out. Stop here and come back to just lowering your hands, allowing them to rest in your lap. And breathe naturally through your nose, through your mouth, wherever your body needs to breathe. And observe the sensations that this breath has brought up for you. Bhramari was cursed with having to defeat her enemies, but not being able to with any two-legged or four-legged creatures. So herself, other gods and goddesses, any horses or four-legged animals would not be able to support her. And so she utilized unorthodox methods. She summons all of the insect world to come to support her. So that is the humming that we are making with our voice and our jaw, and reminding ourselves that it's not always as clear how we are going to succeed at what we are doing or what we are being asked to do. And oftentimes we need to use kind of different methods. So recognize how you're feeling after one round, one side of Bhramari, and know that if ever you are feeling very scattered, like everything outside of you is just too much for you to handle, that I invite you to try this perhaps unorthodox method of using a pranayama, even if you are in a public place, just sealing the gateways of perception and allowing yourself to do this gentle humming sound and see what that sensation brings for you. It's meant to be soothing. So now we'll try the opposite side, meaning your eyes, the direction that your eyes were rotating in. More often than not, we tend to move our eyes in a clockwise direction. So whichever way you moved them the last time, move them in the opposite direction. And we'll again just do a minute and a half. So begin by placing your pointer fingers on your eyelids, get your eyes ready, maybe already doing the cyclones in the opposite direction, gazing up towards the crown of your head. Middle fingers on top of your nostrils, squeezing them in so that the breath is sealed from the nose and sent. And then the thumbs come to the ear cartilage, pressing just gently enough so that you seal off all sound. Yeah? So we'll begin here with a deep breath in. And then exhale as you rock your jaw back and forth, eyes moving in the opposite direction. At the bottom of your next exhale breath, stop. Bring your hands to your lap and just allow yourself to come back to your normal breath, either through your nose, through your mouth. Just feel the reverberations of that buzzing sound, the hum. Acknowledge what you might be seeing behind your eyes. Anything that you are experiencing now, observe. Yoga is the practice of observing the sensations that we experience in the body, in the mind, in our emotions, and just being with them, letting ourselves be present with whatever our emotional state is, whatever the state of our mind is in, whatever our body is feeling, without trying to change it, just noticing it. From here, we are going to move into a bit of gentle movement, followed by Shavasana and a rise from Shavasana. So subtly begin to allow yourself to rock from side to side, kind of feel that reverb from the buzzing that you made with your rocking jaw. And I also invite you, if it feels good to you, to continue making that hum sound. Um, if you want to rock your jaw still, you're more than welcome. Throughout the entire class today, maybe you can choose to stay with that humming breath on every exhale, just to get the body familiar with and commit to connecting to a full exhale breath with sound and a full inhale breath through the mouth, and see what that brings to your experience of life. So start rotating your body around, much like we did the eyes as they were rotating in a circle. You might want to inhale as you bring your chest forward and your shoulders back. And you might wish to round your shoulders forward and kind of get your upper back more hunched as you exhale. Um, um, it might not feel good to force the breath to move as fast as the body is. So again, you're always welcome not to. As you come forward, just gently lift your head up, draw your shoulders and elbows back. And as you come back, let your chin come down to your chest, your shoulders round forward. Just take a few more circles here, really letting your torso create a wider circle than your hips. Right, so I'm coming much further around, and I'm using my hands to support me on my legs. The next time you come back, reverse the direction. Come forward and switch. So we're going around to the other side. These are known in the Kundalini tradition as Sufi swirls. Sitting around in a circle, like we gather in circles in connection with one another. Moving our spine at the base in this 180 degrees at the top of the sacrum, but then 360 degrees around. Again, I invite you to, if you'd like to inhale as you come forward, head comes back, exhale. As you come back, your shoulders separate, your chin comes to your chest. Does not matter how fast or slow you're moving. You can close your eyes. Just a really nice one. It's like seated cat-cows. Just letting yourself find your own rhythm in that circular pattern. And the next time you come back to center, just pause for a moment, not moving. Draw your ribs down, your abdomen back. Let your palms rest in your lap, up or down, your choice. Tuck your chin back slightly so that your ears are more aligned with your shoulder, and the back of your neck is in more of a straight line than that natural curve of your cervical spine. Feel the lengthening, like you're lifting up from the back of your skull. Top of the head is reaching away from your shoulders. Just trying to create a bit of lightness in the traps, the trapezius muscles, the back of the neck. We're so often having our necks and heads forward. It's nice to just realign and let the head know, I got you. You're here on these shoulders, right? And then inhale and lift your hands up and just grab the back of your head and kind of lift and massage from the suboccipital, the base of your skull, those little indentations in the back of your skull. You can massage into them, massage behind the ears, kind of lift the head up a little bit. Just give it a little bit of traction. You can do this for yourself. You can have a friend or a chiropractor do it as well, but it's nice to know that we can also just do this for ourselves. And let your chin tuck back. So let the back of your head kind of lift up, chin down. Just feel that nice stretch. And if you want to give a little massage to the earlobes, let them know, the whole ears, hey, I got you. I'm here for you. Maybe the chin and the throat and the chest. And then come onto your knees, whether you are on your bed, as I always recommend, because it's super soft and cozy for these practices, or if you're on your mat, just make sure you have a cushion for your knees, because it's just gentler and it feels better. Yeah. So coming to kneeling, you're going to inhale, come up onto your knees, hips over them, and reach your arms up. And on your exhale, just reach your right fingers back towards your right heel. On your inhale, lift your arm back up to center. And on your exhale, lower your opposite arm down to your inner heel. Just squeezing your glutes a bit, trying to keep your hips over your knees. Inhale, lift up. One more round. Exhale, opposite hand comes to, maybe it doesn't even touch the heel. That's okay. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hand to heel. Maybe it just teases it. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, send your hips over your heels. Reach your arms back behind you and rest your forehead on the floor or your bed, wherever you are. One palm on top of the other. On your inhale, fill up your belly with breath. Bring your hips over your knees as you come to kneeling and reach your arms up and over your head, palms facing each other. Exhale, swan dive forward, send your hips back, turn your head to one side, that palm comes on top. Inhale, inflate, come back up to center, arms over your head, and exhale, hinge forward, turn your head to the other side, switch the hand that's on top of the low back. Again, inhale, fill up your belly, let it inflate your hips up over your knees, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands come to the low back, head turns to the opposite side and rest on the side of the temple. Inhale, rise back up again. Maybe here you use that hum as you exhale and go to the other side. One more each side at your own pace. If you're moving much faster than I am, it's fine. Do more, do less, don't worry. Maybe your breath is more shallow than mine. Maybe it's more deep. We're just moving at the same pace of our breath. This time when you come back to center, lower your hands on your exhale and place them on your low back. Press your hips forward even more. Draw your elbows and shoulders back behind you. Lift from the back of your heart space. Camel pose, Ustrasana. So you're engaging your glutes just a little bit, and your hands are right on the boniest part of the back of your hip. So it's not on the right on the butt flesh on your booty. It's not right in that low back curve. It's a little bit lower, as if you're sticking your hands in your jeans pockets. It's right on that bony part of the hip. So you're pressing your hips forward as you draw your elbows back. And we're just going to take 3 full rounds of breath here. Big breath into the belly. Exhale. Trying to lift up from the heart space as the elbows and shoulders draw back. One more breath. Excellent. On your next inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Open your arms into a T. Inhale, lift your arms up to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, bring your hands to the mat in tabletop position. Walk your hands out a little bit in front of you and sink your hips back over your heels in Balasana, child's pose. Let your forehead rest for 3 breaths here. Let yourself either bring your knees underneath of your ribs so that your inhale can really fill up and press your belly into your thighs. Your exhale draws your belly back away from your thighs. Or if you prefer a wide knee stance, on your inhale, let your belly get really full between your legs. See if your belly can reach down towards the floor, the mat, the bed, whatever you're on. And on your exhale, try to draw your low belly back towards your spine. Beautiful. Wherever your knees are, just leave them there. Take 2 more full rounds of breath. Big belly on your inhales. Engaged belly and ribs on your exhales. Walk your hands over to the right on your next inhale, reaching that left arm further and further as you draw that left hip back and down, opposing forces. Big inhale breath into that side body. Big exhale breath. You're still humming with me. One more round of full breath in and out. On your inhale, walk your hands over to the other side. Whatever arm is on top, reach those fingers out as far as they can go, and then send that same hip side all the way back as if it's still glued to the floor. Feel the nice stretch under your rib cage, your lower ribs, your armpit. 3 full rounds of breath here using Bhramari if it helps and it feels good for you. On your inhale, walk your hands back to center and lift your hips up, coming back to tabletop. Inhale, your right arm up, and then exhale, thread the needle at the side of your head, come down to the floor, the back of your palm down on the floor, and then inhale, your opposite arm up, option to bind with it. Just bend your elbow and let the arm rest in that little nook of your low back. No force or pushing here, reaching, just allowing the arm to rest there. There might be a lot of pressure on the top
of the deltoid of the shoulder on this bottom arm. You can relieve the pressure a little bit by sinking the hips back or just by lowering that top bound arm, bringing that top shoulder back down towards the floor might feel a little bit more relieving for you. Just play around with it. Know that you can always change. Ah, this tends to feel really nice if we've been doing some lateral lifts with our arms. If you had an arm day the other day, this should feel really nice. And always have the option to come back to the breath. Bhramari. Notice we're having our temples or our forehead on the floor a lot today. This is for the intended purpose of just giving some connection to the brain space and any tension we might hold in our temples and our heads, just letting it relax, feel in touch with the floor, and maybe even rocking from side to side at any time that that feels good for you. Know that you can caress the temples, the mind, ease it with physical touch. Physical touch is so important to us as humans, mammals. All right, inhale that top arm up, unbind. Be really slow and gentle with this. Binds can really make things kind of stiff, so just let that arm take its time to come back. And then just gently place the tips of the fingers down on the floor and then the palm and press yourself back up to tabletop on your inhale. So be gentle with that arm that was just down. It might not be able to have so much pressure on it right at first. Just let it relax. Bend your elbows slightly, kind of rotate your hips around in a circle, playing with the different pressure points on the hands. And you can also flip the hands upside down so that the palm is facing you, your pointer fingers and thumbs are facing back towards your knees. Kind of rock the back of your wrist back and forth on your mat by bending your elbow and lowering it down to the floor, just giving the back of the hand a little bit of a massage. Nice. And then come back to center. Inhale, lift your opposite arm up, and then exhale, thread the needle. So bring your arm underneath of your body. The back of your palm is resting. The side of your face is resting. Just find the position by lifting your hips or lowering them back that feels really good for this outside of your shoulder and deltoid. It might be that your hips are a bit higher or lower. Just ensure that the back of your palm is down, your palm is facing up, and that it might be super intense. So, again, honor yourself, what you're feeling. If it's a good intensity for you, if it feels like a nice stretch, stay. If not, find that position that feels much better for you. And then again, when you're ready, there's no rush. You can lift that top arm up. And if you would like, bind by bending your elbow and letting the back of your arm just rest in the curve of your spine. It's not so curved right now since it's an extended spine and kind of a puppy pose. But just that the arm is rested, right? Doesn't really matter so much where it is. You can kind of nuzzle it to find the right position, how far over, reaching for your opposite hip. And then when you find that position that feels good, just let it stay. Inhale, fill up your belly, fill up the space in that shoulder that needs extra care, and then exhale, hum if you'd like. Reminder, you can rock the jaw for that buzzing sound. You can massage the side of the head, the temple, and the floor again whenever that feels right for you. One more full round of breath here. Maybe wiggle the hips around. You can always lift the hips higher, lower the hips back. Just kind of playing with the position that makes the space in the shoulder feel the best for you. Maybe even rocking them from side to side. And then when you're ready, very, very gently and slowly with your inhale breath, unbind. So let that arm slide back up. Exhale, bend your elbow, lower your fingertips down first. Then your palm can press into the floor. And on your inhale, you can lift yourself back up to center. Be very gentle with that hand, that arm that was just crossed, right? Not too much pressure if it's not ready yet. Bend your elbows a little bit. You can swirl around, letting your hips lead the motion, shoulders forward and back of the wrists, right? Notice which way you rotated the last time. Maybe reverse the direction. Playing with the weight on all parts of the palm. And then turn the back of your palm down so that your palm is facing up. Your thumb and the tips of your fingers are facing back towards your knee. Just give the back of the wrist, the back of the palm, a little massage by bending your elbow out to the side and straightening it again. Just rubbing the back of the hand. Little self-massage technique. When you're ready, shift the weight into your opposite hand and gently bring that hand back. And then walk your hands out further in front of you. Sink your hips and head around to the outside on the left side. Balasana. Inhale, come up and around towards the right side. Bring the hips all the way down towards the floor into Cobra pose. So your knees are touching, the tops of your toes are pressing into the floor a little bit, right? Not super engaged. Your arms are straight. You're pressing into your palms and you're drawing your elbows and shoulders back towards your spine as you lift your head up gently. The next time you exhale, go the opposite way. So let your head, shoulders, and hips swing around to the outside on the right side until you're back in Balasana, child's pose. And then wait for your inhale to swing your head and hips around to the left. Let your hips lower down towards the floor. Draw your shoulders back. Lift your head. Maybe press gently into the tops of your toes. If you'd like to come into upward facing dog here, you're welcome to. Just engage the quads, lift the knees off of the floor, engage the glutes a little bit. On your exhale, you're going to come back around the first way we came, towards the left side, around and down. Balasana. Inhale, swoop around to the opposite side and come forward. Cobra. This time we're going to go immediately back the way we came, around and down to Balasana. Inhale, up and around to Cobra. Tuck your toes under now and engage your quads to lift your knees off of the surface. So you're just going to rock yourself forward and back on your palms by bringing your heels forward and back. Still, your shoulders are back, your head is lifted, your hips are lifted, just like a rocking forward and back, kind of like a plank pose, but an upward facing dog with toes tucked under.
From here, lower your knees, hips back over your heels with your toes tucked. And just for a moment, lift your hips up, straighten your legs as much as you'd like in downward facing dog, but still with bent knees. A very gentle downward facing dog today. Press into your palms. Elongate your spine by drawing your chest down towards your thighs, creating space underneath of your armpits. Keep your knees bent like you're wagging your tail, right? Trying to send your hips and your tailbone higher as you draw your ribs down towards your thighs. Then from here, any amount, straighten your legs. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Trying to keep your spine nice and long. And then on your exhale, lower your knees down, lower your chest and chin down, and then lower your elbows and your forearms and slide yourself forward along the floor like a snake. Inhale to press up to cobra. Tuck your toes under again. Exhale. Inhale, lift your knees, rock forward and back. And then exhale, lower your knees, send your hips back over your heels in Balasana. Then on your inhale, lift your hips up, keep your knees super bent, downward facing dog. Ribs coming back down towards the thighs, knees are still super bent. Pressing into your palms, creating more space under your armpits. Breathe into your belly. And then on your exhale, maybe you straighten your legs a little bit more than before. On your exhale, next round, lower your knees down, lower your chest and chin, lower your elbows and forearms, and then inhale, slide forward. Bring your chest down towards your elbows. Your belly can come down to the floor, and then press your chest up to a cobra. Thighs and knees are on the floor now. Tuck your toes under one last time. Engage your quads, lift your knees up, rock forward and back in a raised, toes tucked, upward facing dog. Exhale, lower the knees, send the hips back over the heels. Balasana, child's pose. Toes are still tucked. On your inhale here, lift your hips up. Exhale, ribs down towards the thighs. Space under the armpits, tailbone high, long in the spine. Inhale, full breath into the belly. Exhale, maybe you straighten your legs if it doesn't curve your spine. Inhale fully again. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And then exhale, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Slide your left toes back along the floor. And then lower your left knee and untuck your left toe. Inhale and lift your arms up, squeezing your front and back knee together to create some space underneath of you. So you're really lifting yourself up in this pigeon pose or king pigeon. Exhale, let your arms open out to the sides, stick your tongue out. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, let them fall, tongue out. Inhale one last time. Exhale. Walk your hands out in front of your knee. This bent knee heel can be very close to your pubic bone. You do not have to bring your shin close to the short edge of your mat to be parallel. You can keep it back and bent. If this is the case, then point your toe. If it's comfortable for you to bring your shin more parallel to the mat, then flex your foot and draw your toes back. I'm going to keep mine down by my pubic bone. Walk your fingertips out in front of you and let your forehead rest.
3 full breaths here, breathing into the bent knee side of the abdomen. Next inhale, walk your hands back under your shoulders. Lift your head back up. Tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee to straighten that back leg. And then send your right leg back. Bend your knees, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg. On your exhale, bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Slide your right toes back. And when they're far back enough, lower your right knee, untuck your toes. Top of the foot rests on the floor. Again, you can situate this bent knee foot so that the heel is close to the pubic bone and the toe is pointed, or you can bring your shin more close to the short edge of the mat and flex the foot back towards the face. Either way, yogi's choice. They might be different on each side, so just recognize what's right for you. Here, this one feels for me like it's going to be a little closer to the short edge of the mat. On your next inhale, squeeze both of your knees together. Get a little bit of lift off of the floor and reach your arms up. Exhale, let your arms open up, breath of fire. Stick your tongue out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, tongue out. Walk your fingertips down and out in front of you and let your forehead slowly rest. Breathe fully into your belly, so the side of the bent knee expanding and contracting. Reminder to use the hum if you'd like. Walk your hands back under your shoulders, and on your inhale, lift your chest up. Then lower that bent knee hip down. Swing the opposite leg around, and then just prop yourself up on top of something, either that mat or another cushion. Straighten your legs out in front of you. You can bend your knees slightly. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips, bringing your ribs close to your thighs. Try to keep your spine straight and long. Just for another breath. Flex your toes back towards your face. Activate your quads, your calves, strong legs, long, straight torso. And then finally exhale and let your spine round. Let your hands come down either on your lap or alongside of your body, and let your head hang. Just breathe here. We're going to take 3 full rounds of breath again. Feeling the whole back body open up and relax. Not forcing here to reach anything, just letting the torso round forward, releasing the hips, releasing the shoulders, the neck. You might feel some strange pulls. Let everything fall forward. then finally, gently, one vertebrae at a time, let your spine come back to center and straight. Place your hands by your sides of your hips, draw your shoulders back, Dandasana, staff pose. Straight legs, pressing the soles of the feet away from you. Long spine, chin tucked, shoulders back, pressing into the floor, almost like you could lift yourself up a little bit, the whole lower body. And then finally, shift to one side and remove any cushioning you have underneath of you. Reach your arms out in front of you, palms facing each other, and slowly lower down. See if you can draw your shoulders back and just keep your spine super straight. You're going to need to inchworm your heels down as you try to keep your spine long. If it rounds, okay, let your hands come down, let your spine round. It's totally fine. But if you can, lower all the way down in a straight line until you're resting on the floor. From here, open your arms out to the sides. Legs separate. Toes are falling out to the sides. Palms facing up. Arms are a little bit away from your hips. You can rock your shoulders back and forth to get the right position. Just shift and make yourself perfectly comfortable. Let your head tilt back slightly, and then let it relax again in just the right position for you. Shavasana, corpse pose, dead man's pose. Allow yourself to begin to feel heavy, to release all of the muscles of the body, to release the mind. Feel the weight of your heels on the floor, the space behind your ankles. Notice where your calves touch, the heaviness of them. Notice the space behind your knees, the points where the backs of your thighs touch. Notice any space around your buttocks and the connection. Release your conscious breathing. No longer humming or rocking the jaw on the exhale, even if you weren't. Allow all parts of the breath to become still. The body. You're releasing your control over your breath and allowing your breath to do its natural pace. You are no longer doing breathing. You are now becoming breath itself. Feel how your belly rises slightly as you inhale and falls slightly as you exhale. Release the conscious effort. Just be. Notice the space under your low back. Notice the points where your lower ribs connect, your upper ribs, without trying to make them touch. Just feel. Your shoulders are heavy, your upper arms are heavy, your elbows, forearms, the back of your wrists are heavy. Notice the space behind your wrists. Notice the curve in the back of your neck. the heaviness of your head. Release any tension you might be holding in your face, your brow, your jaw. Feel as though the features of your face are sliding away from the midline, melting down towards your ears. You are free. You are not this physical body lying here in Shavasana. You are far more. Leave your body here, continuing to get heavier and heavier and sinking lower. Gaze towards your third eye, Ajna, the center of your intuition, and allow yourself to travel beyond into the infinite black space you see behind your eyes. With nothing holding you back, your body lying here on the floor, stable, stationary, not moving. You are free to allow your spirit to soar, to travel to distant lands, realms, to see what you cannot see when you are attached to your body. Is it I cannot see? Let yourself go. Just explore. Slowly begin to notice where you are, what you have found, learned about yourself. Thank your journey, your spirit self, and then make your way back to your physical body, lying here in Shavasana. Begin to breathe consciously, more fully. Let your breath awaken your body and begin to make small movements, fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, arms and legs.
Reach your arms up and over your head. Walk your legs together to touch. Take a nice long stretch of your whole spine. And on your exhale, walk your heels to your hips. Lift your hips up slowly and shift them over to the left as you roll over onto your right side in Parsva Shavasana, the fetal position. Just take a moment here to assess what you gained today, what was most valuable for you, and how you feel. Body, mind, emotions, spirit. Then slowly begin to support yourself by using your hands to press you away from the floor to come back to a comfortable seat. Bring something soft underneath of your seat to sit up on. When you arrive, gently lengthen your spine, tuck your chin down, just to elongate the back of your neck. Draw your abdomen back slightly to elongate your lumbar spine. And inhale your arms up and over your head. On your exhale, wrap your arms around yourself in a big hug. Squeeze yourself, rock yourself. Come back to that internal buzz. I love you, self. Just in honor of the Gemini energy, the twins. Inhale once more, arms up. And exhale. See if you can bring the opposite arm on top. If you can't figure out which one it is, it's the one that feels weird. We all have one that we naturally do. Hug yourself, love yourself, honor yourself. Remember that no matter what you are feeling or experiencing, thinking, it's all just part of the journey, and this too shall pass. If you enjoy this part of the journey, remind yourself that you can recreate it over and over again. Life is our creation, and it is also spirit channeling through us to have a human experience. Release your hug if you have enough, but you can always return. Can never get enough hugs or touch or love. Bring your hands to your heart center to seal our practice today, and bow your head in honor of all the energy that you possess, not only the moon energy, but every part of you, all that you think, all that you feel, all that you do, all that you know, and in honor of all that there is outside of our bodies, outside of our minds, the greatness, the infiniteness of the universe around us. May you tune into that when you need to, and may you tune it out when you need to go within. I honor you. I love you. Thank you so much for being with me today. Take care, beautifuls. I will see you soon. Mwah. I'll be here next week, same time, slightly different class. I hope to see you then too. Please feel free to message me with any questions if you'd like to get some more input or support on your own personal yoga, meditation, spiritual journey. I am here. Please reach out to me. I also offer private sessions from anywhere in the world on Zoom. I love you so much. Remember to love yourself. Be gentle with you during this Gemini moon. It can be a doozy. Take care. Thanks for watching, guys.